because you've always been a stubborn idiot.
I come from a long line of stubborn idiots.
Well, don't shout so. You may work up an appetite.
I'll shout if I want to. I'll scream if I want to.
All right, scream.
If you don't let me off,
I'll shout if I want to.
piece of furniture in this room.
Scream if I want to.
Piece of juicy steak. Ellie! 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 Lower the boats! Lower the boats! Catch her! Catch her! She got away from us, sir. Of course she got away. She's too smart.
Ready, Angel.
My life has no meaning.
Funny time to mention it.
I don't love him.
You did.
He reminded me of you.
I can't think of a better reason.
What would you say if I called the whole thing off?
Fortune rarely accompanies anyone to the door.
What the heck does that mean?
That means you will do exactly what I tell you to do.
Why?
Because you have no disposable income, no skills to speak of, and no immediate prospects of remedying either situation. And because I'm your father. Guinevere! Don't you dare! Young lady, you get back here! Guinevere!
I'd like a room, please.
Bridal suite?
Oh, just a room. Thanks.
You new in town?
This is my first visit. Can you have a towel?
Welcome to South Beach, Miss Williams.
Esther.
Jamal at the bank, Jamal jogging, Jamal at lunch with a coworker. Pretty, isn't she? And she paid. Jamal at the laundromat, Jamal spending a quiet evening at home, Jamal spending another quiet evening at home. So, what's missing from these pictures? Anything to suggest that Mr. Taylor is the criminal mastermind you think he is.
Mr. Taylor has defrauded the Bank of Nice of $2.1 million in unsecured loans.
Mr. Taylor has been doing his laundry at the House O'Suds. Mr. Taylor's not your man.
These records were discovered during an in-house investigation at the main branch in Nice. Copies of computer transactions between Mr. Taylor, identified by the initial J, and an individual signing her name as Rose. Miami to Nice to Baghdad. Taylor's using the intermediary to camouflage his loans.
He has a partner.
So it would seem, Mr. Tatum.
Tatum.
We need proof this side of the Atlantic. Computer records, a transaction file, something with Taylor's fingerprints on it.
I'll need access to Taylor's computer and to your mainframe and a room in the building. Well, Jamal, I guess it's time somebody started reading your mail.
I have been looking all over for you. The bank called to confirm your prior arrangements that they wouldn't tell me about, but I'm sure Billy could. Your grandmother called. She wanted to remind you not to forget your grandfather's birthday party tomorrow night. And Tito insists that you haven't paid him in 2 weeks and he's not leaving here until you do. And...
Rebecca.
And there's two guys...
Rebecca? What is the single most important thing discovered by God and man since the beginning of time?
The Fender Stratocaster.
What made Romeo climb that balcony? What gave Isolde the power to heal Tristan's bloody wounds? What made Mickey Rooney marry all those women? And why would they in the first place?
That would be love.
I know that. Pay attention. Reservations for 2 at the Barocco. I'll tip for it if I have to. Send a dozen red roses to Polly's office, sign love to you, and a dozen yellow roses to Polly's apartment, sign more love to you. Any questions?
How many Cubano coffees did you have at lunch?
Don't you think it's time I upsize my relationship?
Into what?
One woman, one man. I'm finally in sync with my decade.
Does Polly know about this?
After tonight, she'd better.
And there's 2 guys in suits on your sofa.
Do I owe them money?
Clients.
Of course.
My daughter's been missing for almost 24 hours. I want you to find her.
When did she run away?
I said she was missing.
If she was missing, you'd be talking to the police. The police would be talking to reporters, and I'd have read about it in the morning paper.
Last night around 8.
Why did she run?
I'm not sure.
What was the last thing she said to you before she disappeared?
I don't remember.
Mr. Cross, pretty girls don't run away from home for pretty reasons. And believe me, I've pretty much heard them all. Now, if you want to keep yours a secret, that's fine with me. But do yourself a favor and hire someone who doesn't mind working in the dark. I don't have the time. Now, if you gentlemen will excuse me, I have several sonnets to memorize.
My daughter ran away on her wedding day.
Before or after?
During. We were walking down the aisle. She said something about her life had no meaning. I don't remember how I responded. And suddenly she stopped and jumped overboard.
I'm sorry, excuse me, did you say overboard?
I don't see what's so damn funny.
You must be the groom.
Mr. Tatum, I want my daughter back. Whatever it takes, no matter how much it costs.
Just for the record, Mr. Cross, 80% of all missing persons turn up in the first 48 hours after their disappearance. And a good 60% of all runaways come home in their own steam in the first 24. Even sooner if I find her first.
I'll count on that.
How'd you know that?
I make it up. Check the hotels, the clubs, and the morgue. You're looking for a rich girl in a soggy wedding dress.
She's beautiful.
That's the best kind. Bank of Nice?
Up and ready.
Meet me tomorrow morning at 8. Well, make that 10. Call Sally at Teleserve. See where Miss Cross has been using her credit cards, then report them as stolen. And cut Tito a check, will you? 1 week's pay, 2 when he finds the girl.
What about you?
I am gonna shower, shave, anoint my body with fragrant oils, and basically work myself into the state of utter frenzy required to convince Polly Dodge that I am at long last the man she's been waiting for.
She don't let nobody, she don't let nobody, no. She don't let nobody, she don't let nobody, she don't let nobody, she don't let nobody, nobody but me.
Only me alone, they palm me girl mind. Only me alone, make her love like shine. Only me alone, they palm me girl mind. Only me alone, make her love like shine.
She don't let nobody, she don't let nobody, no. She don't let nobody, she don't let nobody.
Walter, I think we should start thinking about seeing other people.
Huh?
I think we should see other people.
What exactly do you mean?
Come on, you know.
I'm too horrified to offer a working definition.
We can still see each other.
Exactly who are these other people?
I'm not sure.
So this is more or less on spec.
This is what is best for me at this point in my life process. New interpersonal input.
You've been reading books in your spare time again, haven't you, Polly?
Sometimes a book helps to put things into perspective.
You remember food combining?
That was a pamphlet.
This is a nightmare.
Darling, we're not breaking up. We're expanding.
Please, isn't one breakup cliche enough?
This hurts me too.
That's 3. It's not a record. It's a good start, though.
Okay, fine. Let's talk about something else.
Splendid.
Well, what did you want to tell me? Walter, telephone call.
Other people. Already fun. Billy, you're kidding. Now? Give me 5 minutes. Polly, I know that this is going to qualify as bad timing, and I don't want this to be interpreted as a retreat, exactly, no matter how horrifying the last few minutes have been. But, duty calls.
What kind of duty?
Detective stuff. Wait for me.
Style of fashion, now. This is the sounds of zero crew. Yeah, boy. Each and every one of you.
We call it a unified...
Making men miserable?
Women generally, or Polly in particular?
Okay, Polly.
Seems like you should know the answer yourself.
An international conspiracy designed to ensure my continuing unhappiness in a world already devoid of truth or meaning.
Too global.
Polly met somebody she likes better, and she's laying me down easy.
Works for me.
Yeah, well, Polly's halfway through dessert. Is there any way we can speed this up?
Tapped into Taylor's computer through the mainframe and ran a line downstairs. So every time the mainframe recognizes Taylor's terminal ID, it detours the data my way. What he sees, we see. What he sends to us first. Do you have any idea how many transactions a low-level horse like Taylor pushes through in a business day?
What kind of transactions?
Commercial loans mostly, shopping malls, retirement projects, theme parks, a golf course, and an Arizona health spa, which is bunk, like most of this stuff, until about 20 minutes ago. Mr. Taylor made himself an after-hours transaction. Miami to France.
Let me guess. Unsecured loans parked in Nice on their way to Baghdad with the help of one Miss Rose.
It's to Miss Rose, all right, but this isn't bank business. This is personal.
My secret Rose thinking of you.
Face I've never seen, the lips I've never kissed.
All the places I've never touched. The first thing on my mind is what we dare together. The second, how dare we celebrate? I wait for your reply, Jay.
What do you think?
I think Mr. Taylor's taken the computer dating concept to a whole new level.
What do you mean my credit card's been canceled?
Your credit card has been canceled.
Did I mention to you that my wallet was stolen?
Yes, you did.
Which means that all of my money, my valid credit cards, and my driver's license, which I am sure you care nothing at all about, are in some criminal's back pocket? Did I lose my temper? I'm sorry. Look, I think that what is really important for both of us right now is my ability to get up in the morning, go to the bank, and withdraw a very large sum of money.
I gotta be honest with you. It's not that important to me.
Well, for heaven's sakes, why not?
We have an old saying in the hotel business.
For kindness begets kindness evermore, but he from whose mind fades the memory of benefits noble is he no more.
No bread, no bed. I like yours, though.
Where were we?
I was thinking about seeing other people, and you were whining.
I was hoping you'd forgotten that.
Well, you see, I've had an awful lot of time to think. Not as much as I would have liked, but there again, you see, I never eat by myself, and it really is something I should try more often. Anyway, I'm sorry.
You change your mind?
No.
Then I will.
How?
I'm willing to embrace the other people concept. No matter how humiliating, degrading, and ultimately heartbreaking it's likely to be, on one condition. Pretend we never met.
This is a lot sexier than you whining.
Visualize with me. You walk into a room full of strangers. One of them is me. I'm by the bar, looking a little lost. You look across the room, and our eyes meet. And I smile, knowing what you know, knowing who you are, given the almost incalculable odds of ever finding another human being one can simply get along with. Who do you think you'd want to take home at the end of the night?
Well, that would depend on what happened next.
Celia, ¿cómo estamos?
Listo. Oye, ¿dónde tú andabas, eh?
Perdido.
¿Sí? ¿Quieres un café?
Sí, gracias. Excuse me, are you all right?
Listen, I don't know what you're thinking, bud, but you can just stop thinking it right this minute.
How do you know I was thinking anything at all?
Instinct.
Okay, I was thinking.
Well,
but not...
don't.
I was thinking that a girl as pretty as you shouldn't be counting her change at a sandwich bar. That's until I saw that you were crying. Then I was thinking that maybe you needed some help. And I would do that for you.
I don't suppose you're in the hotel business. That would be helpful.
No, public relations. You need a room?
Somebody stole my wallet.
Criminals everywhere.
Bank opens in the morning.
I have an idea. You can stay in my office until the morning.
Oh, well, thank you, but I don't...
My name is Tito Salvon. Very pleased to meet you.
Gwen. Hi.
Is anything wrong, Gwen?
Well, the whole idea of putting myself in the hands of a perfect stranger that I've never met before in my life is a little crazy.
Sleeping on the street is a little crazy. And I'm not perfect.
So how can I trust you?
If I get out of line, shoot me.
Is it a real gun?
You'll be safe here till the morning.
Safe from what?
Safe from harm. Safe to dream. Good night.
Oh, listen, Tito. Look, I've never had that much experience with regular people. Not that you're regular or anything, though. You're nothing like that at all. I just never have. So I guess that's why it's so hard for me to trust anybody. Anyway, thank you. Good night.
¿Qué está tomando mucho,
Walter! Walter! Don't go back to the office!
You pushed me!
I'm excited.
As long as you understand that my being here doesn't change a thing, except for the fact that I wasn't going to let this happen in the first place.
Consider the possibilities. Walter Tatum's complete and total devotion to the one-on-one, boy-girl couple concept.
Would you settle for straight sex?
Maybe it's quicker if we unbutton ourselves.
There's somebody in your bed.
We're in my bed.
Who is it? Who's there?
Is this a stick-up?
This is pathetic.
Polly, wait!
What are you doing here?
You don't move. You're under arrest.
That is to convince you that there is absolutely nothing you can say to me at this moment that will reduce my anger by the tiniest fraction.
But
And that is for the humiliation, intended or otherwise. You get out, or I'll shoot.
You will not.
Oh, yes, I will.
First of all, your finger's not even on the trigger.
Oh.
I am feeling very conflicted.
Get out of here! Just get her out!
I'm gonna count to 10. And if you're not out of my bedroom and out of my office, I'm not gonna call the police. I'm gonna drag you directly to prison by your hair.
You're the one who's going to prison.
10, 9. Oh, yeah?
Breaking and entering, attempted rape,
7.
assault with a deadly weapon.
You shut my door.
In self-defense.
From what?
The moron in the pastel boxer shorts.
6, 5, 0.
You forgot 3, 2, and 1.
Why waste valuable time counting? I'm calling the police right now.
Ha!
Can I get you a cup of coffee? A cappuccino?
Are you taking antidepressant medication? Stupid question. Bye.
Wait, please. Cream or sugar? No. Steamed milk.
Thank you. But I'm not really in a coffee mood right now.
Wait. I have forgot why I did call thee back.
What?
Let me stand here till thou remember it.
Shakespeare?
Romeo and Juliet.
I shall forget to have thee still stand there, remembering how much I love thy company.
People who memorize Shakespeare can't be all bad.
Serial killer English majors.
1 cup. 1 cup. Maybe some caffeine will make this whole thing seem a little closer to normal for you.
Well.
Stay there.
All right.
Arthur Cross, please. I don't know the room. Of course I know what time it is. It's an emergency. Mr. Cross, it's Walter Tatum calling. Well, may I please speak to him? May I please speak to him? What do you mean he's not in? You know what time it is? Rounded. Rounded. What the hell does that mean? Will you please tell him I called? Well, it's nothing, really. I found his daughter. She almost shot me. We're having coffee now.
Did you call Cross?
He's grounded in Jamaica. Hurricane Lester.
Hate mail hurricanes.
He'll be here by noon.
What do we do till then?
Find Guinevere Cross, tie her to a palm tree, and wait for sunrise. I don't know.
Well, check it out, please.
Hey. Yo, Miss Hottie, what's up?
Hottie lost, that's what.
I am not lost.
Then what are you doing here?
I'm going home.
Where's home?
Not far.
How far?
Excuse me.
No.
Excuse me. I hate to interrupt what appears to be a very successful intimidation, but the lady is my guest, and as such deserves to be treated with kindness and gentility. Besides, she has a gun.
I do not.
What?
I left it under his bed.
I don't believe this.
Well, I didn't think that I was going to need it.
You're doing so well as it is.
How I'm doing is none of your business.
Fine. Maybe then the Menudo killers will have a suggestion more to your liking. Hey.
You know, I don't know which is worse, homicidal gang members or an insufferably arrogant pinhead who...
I am not arrogant.
Oh, I'm sorry. An insufferably puerile pinhead.
Puerile? 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 Yeah, puerile.
Chico, estos blanquitos son locos. Solamente te hacen la vida miserable. Yo lo cuido a ellos porque me pagan. Pero ustedes están más mejor sin ellos. Está bien.
¿En serio?
What's he saying?
He's telling them that I'm a very important man in the neighborhood and that they would be wise to show me the respect I deserve.
You two know each other.
Yeah, we're partners.
Well, it's been different, which is not necessarily a bad thing. Good night.
Gwen,
You can explain everything.
all Tito wanted to do was help. All I wanted to do was make love to Polly Dodge. These are not usually mutually exclusive concepts. It's late. Why not take Tito up on his generous offer and bunk down overnight in our bedroom? In about 8 hours, we're gonna betray this young woman's trust in a way that she'll one day get over. This much is certain. She's gonna despise you, and she's gonna despise me as long as she remembers us. The appetite for a girl.
I'm not a girl.
Woman, girl, prehistoric carnivore, the volume is impressive.
You've been really sweet. Weird, but sweet. Well, I want you to know that I really do appreciate everything that you've done. And so, look, why don't you just say goodbye to Cheeto for me?
Have some dessert.
Oh, no, I hate dessert. It's an unnecessary indulgence. Not to mention all those calories derived from fat.
Aren't you a little young to be worried about unnecessary indulgences?
Be careful about what I eat, that's all.
You just ate Paul Bunyan's breakfast.
Well, yes, but this is a special circumstance now, isn't it?
Have some chocolate.
I hate chocolate.
Nobody hates chocolate.
Well, I do.
Well, that's practically un-American.
You know, it might be un-Swiss, but I really doubt if it's considered un-American.
Montezuma drank 50 goblets of this stuff a day.
Oh, let me guess. You're an expert on the subject, aren't you?
You know what really bugs me about rich people? They get born on third base and they spend the rest of their lives thinking they hit a triple.
What do rich people have to do with this?
Absolutely nothing.
You know, I take it back. You haven't been that sweet.
Bad news. Ross won't be back till tomorrow morning.
God. She's not so bad.
She's all alone.
What do we do until then?
How come everywhere I go, you two are sure to follow?
We're ubiquitous.
I'm depressed.
I noticed.
Anything we can do to help?
Sure. I need money, a job, a place to stay, my next meal, and a park would be nice.
Pretty tall order.
It's a skyscraper to me.
Tonight's my grandfather's birthday.
Gee, that's great. I can get him a gift, but I barely have shoes.
I was supposed to take Polly Dodge to dinner.
Polly Dodge will never speak to you again.
You could go with me. I need a dinner date.
Hey, you need dinner.
Horrifying as it sounds, we need each other.
Just after midnight. Short but steamy.
It's very advanced.
Seems like they skipped right past the pen pal stage.
Well, she is French after all.
Look here. 4 hours later, my personal favorite.
What's that word?
It's anatomical.
So, it would appear as if Mr. Taylor is augmenting a rather lucrative career in the international bank felony trade with the more delicate business of talking nasty and falling in love.
It would appear that Mr. Taylor is expecting a house guest.
And who might that be?
Whom? My dear Rose, counting the days, the hours, the minutes until we finally meet. How dare we celebrate? Together.
Walter Tatum Incorporated, a public relations company. May I help you?
Very funny. Where is she? It's a nice dress.
Oh, Tito borrowed it for me.
Tito's taste is perfect.
Flowers.
From my grandma.
Oh.
Here. She has plenty of them in the yard. Big beds everywhere.
So, when did you and Walter meet?
Well,
gee,
actually, that's
that's
kind of complicated, really.
What?
It's, excuse me?
Graham wants to know how we met. That's kind of a funny story, remember?
Sure.
I know 100 funny
But
stories.
Nate, this is Gwen and Walter's story.
Well, I was at the
Post office
which is very funny.
for a stamp.
Which is
and-
convenient, since they have so many stamps there. And I
I
saw
wasn't
Gwen.
there.
Who
Well,
was
actually, I
not
had been there before, earlier.
You should probably tell this.
All right. I dropped a letter out of my purse.
Onto the ground, where I found it.
Exactly, but there was no stamp.
But a return address.
My address.
So I took it to her so that she could mail it herself.
And we became great friends.
That's a crock. You know, I played with the Goodman Band. Yeah, we toured the West Coast. Because Pee Wee Irwin left to play with Miller, and they needed an extra horn. We did all right on the coast. San Francisco, Oakland, Pismo Beach. But we didn't know what to expect at the Palomar. That Los Angeles, it was a strange place. Grapefruit in the front yard, huh? Anyway,
You didn't know what to expect.
Yeah. Bunny and me were late, and Goodman, he was a straight son of a bitch, you know. So we hailed a cab, and then Bunny and me saw something. Bright lights up ahead. You know what it was?
A riot at the Palomar.
They were lined up, that's right. They were lined up all around the block. I've never seen anything like it in my life. Well, Bunny and me figure we take a closer look. And I saw this pretty girl. Prettiest I'd ever seen. And I felt so good with the night and all the people and the music we had in us. I did something I never did before. I asked a perfect stranger to give me her name. Adelaide O'Malley, she said. That's how your mother came to be Mrs. Tatum. I was playing with the Goodman Band, touring the West Coast.
I like Nate and Adelaide a lot.
They raised me.
Your parents?
They died when I was 2 in a plane crash. My dad was on his way to New York to play the Sullivan Show.
I'm sorry.
You're looking at the first tone-deaf Tatum in the family.
You called Adelaide your mother.
Nate gets confused sometimes. He mixes me up with Dad. That den of his can get pretty crowded.
I think that he is wonderful.
What about you? I mean, usually when I bring a girl to my grandfolks' house for the first time, I know a thing or two about her.
Well, there's really not too much to tell about her.
Oh, don't say there's not much to tell.
Well, everybody has stories that explain who they are, and I ran away from mine. So I guess I'm starting from scratch. I want to write new ones that belong to nobody but me.
Sounds kind of lonely.
Depends on the story, really.
Does tonight count?
Tonight is actually the second one.
What's the first?
Sort of Goldilocks variation. You were in boxer shorts, and I was holding a guy.
That's a very good first story. There's a problem with it.
What?
Who in the world's ever going to believe you? It's late.
Yeah, we should probably get back. Walter? Thank you for tonight, for all the stories.
Morning, Walter. Hi. This is just a tip, so please take it in the spirit that it's given. But you know that silver spigot thing on the cappuccino machine? Well, it's clogged. But if you unscrew this little caplet deal at the end and, like, run warm water through it, it usually clears itself up.
We have to talk about something.
Okay.
I'm not really in the public relations business, per se.
No kidding. 2 days and I haven't seen a single client.
Walter! He's here. Damn it.
Who's here?
Get her out of sight.
Yeah, who out of sight? Hey! You know.
Where is she?
Where is she? He said that.
Mr. Tatum, I'm running out of patience.
You're running out of patience. I've been waiting here over 2 days for you. And while we're on the subject, what kind of father goes out of town on a business trip while his daughter's missing?
Where is Gwen?
I'm not really sure.
She's gone.
Yes, she is.
You let her get away.
Did you?
You know what I can't figure out? Why is it that every time you talk about your daughter, you sound as if you're describing a preschool girl who's wandered away from recess? Gwen is a very intelligent and resourceful young woman, Mr. Cross. Maybe you ought to let her come home on her own steam. Or better still, maybe it's none of your business.
You're fired.
You're a joke.
Good morning.
Ow! You're getting on my nerves.
Donuts?
Mr. Cross.
Maybe not.
Let's go, Hunt. Stop embarrassing yourself.
You are a liar, a cheat, and a thief. And while we're on the subject, a two-timing swindler, a quisling, and a slug, which is the lowest Animal Kingdom member I can think of right now.
These are college-level insults, Gwen. Quisling? Sheesh.
And you set me up.
Well, of course I set you up. It's my job to set you up. A job, I might add, I no longer have because my job was to hand you over to your father. Which, for reasons I don't quite understand, I couldn't do. I'm sorry.
You don't have to apologize for doing something decent.
Showtime.
When?
Miss Rose flies direct. Nice to Miami tomorrow afternoon. Mr. Taylor's booked a reservation for 2 at the Century. Dinner's at 8, and it's a blind date.
Are you sure?
Jamal Taylor will be wearing a red rose, so Miss Rose will know him.
Billy, you handle the airport. Follow Miss Rose, keep her clear until dinner time. Tito, introduce yourself to Jamal Taylor. Make sure he doesn't make it to dinner. Let's keep this blind date blind.
If Taylor's not going to dinner, who is?
Me. I'll wear a red rose so Miss Rose knows who I am.
Excuse me. Can I help?
Night.
Good night.
Try to make it 7 in a row against the visiting Crimson Tide.
Something's whacked. Did you check the flight?
Yeah?
Taylor's watching a Hurricanes game in his boxer shorts. This is not the right attitude.
That's impossible. Taylor's online at the bank.
No, he's not.
Well, somebody is.
Well, somebody who?
Just for the record, I am still willing to help if you want.
In a word, not on your life.
That's 4 words.
Well, you get the picture.
Well, it just seems like after all you've done for me, I mean, even though a lot of it was horrible, the least I could do is pitch in.
Wearing a wire is a job for a professional, which if you look closely, I am.
I need the salary.
It's too complicated.
Dazzle me, Flatfoot.
Gwen, you're young, you're innocent, you're borderline manic. Some roads are best left untaken. Sort of takes your breath away, don't it? And don't answer that phone. It might be Dad. It might be the police. Heaven help us, it might be the groom.
Wait, what woman?
She's using Taylor's terminal to cover her tracks. Miami to Nice to Baghdad.
Taylor's innocent.
Wait a minute. Phone extensions. Taylor, there it is. Let me see. Carl Logan, Rebecca Gervin, Janine Wilkes. Janine, she's 2 desks away. Janine Wilkes is Jay.
Jay's a woman.
Then Miss Rose is a man.
Walter.
Who are you?
Come here to blow a dame's brains out, and I find out somebody beat me to it. Anybody here with you?
Yeah.
Who?
You.
Where's Walter?
Buying a boutonniere.
Billy didn't call?
I'm not allowed to answer the telephone. Are you okay?
Walter thinks he's meeting a woman named Rose who was helping a man named Taylor, but Taylor's innocent. Rose is a man. Walter's in a lot of trouble. Don't move.
Your wine, sir.
Hello.
Good evening.
I'm here to see Miss...
No!
Friends of mine. They get excited when I eat. 1 second.
Okay.
The secret to a successful undercover operation is as follows. Keep it simple, keep it subtle, keep it quiet. Any questions?
You can't go in there.
Well, I can. It won't be nearly as artful an entrance as I was planning.
Jamal Taylor is a woman.
Miss Rose is a man.
What is she doing here?
Hi.
I'm here to see Mr. Rose. Oh, yes, he's expecting you. Follow me. Your partner, thank you. Mr. Rose. Hi. Oh. Oh. So nice to see you.
I don't know precisely what to say.
Oh, well.
Please.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much.
I imagined your face, but not this face.
Well, I hope you're not disappointed.
No, I'm flabbergasted.
Oh, I'm flabbergasted too.
Humor me?
I'm sort of busy.
Just one question.
Can it wait?
No, not really.
Okay, one.
What the hell do you think you're doing?
Cracking the case?
Nice use of the jargon, but I don't think cracking is the right verb.
Look, Rose is a man, Jamal Taylor is innocent, and Jay is Janine Wilkes, a woman just like me.
How do you remember all this stuff?
Total recall.
I'm impressed.
How long before the real Janine Wilkes tells Rose the jig is up?
Any minute.
Well, then that makes me your only hope.
Okay, I'm enjoying this, but why now exactly?
Wire me.
You're kidding.
You have a better idea?
Don't try anything fancy. Flatter him. Ask him what he intends to do with all the money. Get him to brag about how clever he was. Find out what he plans to do next. Once he starts talking, just stand aside and let the wire do the work.
Sort of takes your breath away, don't it?
Now that you mention it, yeah.
What will you do with all the money?
What, me? Oh, I'm not sure. Gee, I wonder.
You know, you deserve every franc. It was a brilliant proposal. Tell me, how did you think of it?
Oh, I don't know. I sort of, you know.
You're modest.
Oh, yes, very, yes.
Of course, you've made plans for what we will do next.
No, none. I've been so busy, you know.
Mr. Schiller.
Tell me, what were you planning? Anything that I could possibly help you? No, thank you. I don't smoke.
Yes, you do.
I quit?
Wilkes. I tied her to a chair. I was supposed to meet somebody here, but I don't know where.
Please let go of me! My name is Gwen Cross. I'm from Kansas City. I ran away from my mom, but I know absolutely nothing about any of this. Oh, God!
Gwen! You're expecting a big chase?
Very economical.
I don't box.
I noticed.
Do you think that now is an especially good time for an argument?
No.
Well, sure, I fought bigger Frenchmen in my time, but the guy was hardly what I'd call a pushover.
Hardly.
So what happened to your eye?
Sucker punch, okay? My back was... You guys pick up Jay.
The fools can share the same prison cell.
Either way, you've got to admit, the whole thing was sort of romantic.
You know what? This is fun.
We live for fun, Gwen. Fun is, in fact, our business.
Are you all right?
I'm better than all right, thank you. And while I still don't have any disposable income or any real skills to speak of, my prospects are improving nightly.
I suppose dragging you back to the boat by your hair and locking you in the closet is out of the question.
Completely.
We fly home on Sunday.
Well, I was thinking of staying.
How?
On my own.
Are you happy?
Yes.
Safe? Young man, if anything happens to my daughter, I will hold you responsible in ways you cannot even begin to imagine. Call me tomorrow.
You didn't really mean all that about holding you responsible.
Sounded pretty ironclad to me.
Well, I can take care of myself.
More or less.
What's that supposed to mean?
I think the night speaks for itself.
I think the night says I pulled your butt out of the fire.
Well, that's funny, because I could have sworn you spent most of your waking hours shoving it in.
Jerk.
Rich man's genetic baggage.
Aren't you tired of that insult yet?
I think I can get 15 or 20 more uses out of it.
Really? Well, I think you can sleep on the couch.
Gwen, let me in.
I can't hear you.
There's no window. There's no window here. I'm climbing through.
What?
Hey, ow!
London. And Charles Gibson. Tomorrow, the 100 best companies in America for working mothers.
Then Angela Lansbury with a preview of the Emmys.
Plus, Bruce Willis tomorrow on Good Morning America.
Stay tuned for Coach next.